What up, guys? It's your man, Elite, and welcome back to the Elite channel. This chick you see on the screen right here is crazy. I mean, she is really crazy. For real, for real.
Also new today, the director of football operations and on-campus recruiting at TSU, she was arrested today.
And I know a little something about dealing with crazy chicks. I've dealt with a few of them in my time, and I will share with you today. I'll also give my analysis on this situation at Tennessee State University between this director of football operations and a football player. But first, take a second to make sure you're subscribed to the Elite channel. And if you're new, hit that subscribe button. Everybody hit that reminder bell so you know when I drop a new video. And go ahead and hit that like button. It helps the video out in the YouTube algorithm. And one more thing, guys. If you would like to support the channel or support the content, go ahead and bless that CashApp. The tag for CashApp is in the description and on the screen right here. And now, without any further delay, let's get it.
Also new today, the director of football operations and on-campus recruiting at TSU, she's arrested today. According to an affidavit, Ariel Escobar was waiting at TSU's football player's Devon Starling's apartment when he got home. He told police he was there with a new girlfriend. When he asked Escobar to leave, she would not. Starling and his girlfriend drove around in their car while waiting for police. That's when they say she followed them, blocked them in a parking spot, and hit the car while the two were inside. Now, she admitted to police that she did do that. We've asked TSU Athletics for a statement. They haven't gotten back with us yet.
So Miss Escobar is messing around with a student athlete on the football team whom she really shouldn't be messing around with because it's inappropriate. But then the student athlete, Devon, tells her that he doesn't want anything else to do with her because he now has a girlfriend, and she decides to get all in her feelings, then tries to delete him and his girlfriend outside of his apartment by ramming her car into his car while him and his girlfriend were still in it. That's crazy, but there's a lot more to this story and a lot more foolishness that she did. But, you know, strangely, in the primary media, there's not a lot about this case. You really have to dig to find out the rest of the details. And I'm not surprised because we tend to give women a pass in this society when they act a fool. And we know that if this was a man who did all this criminal behavior against a woman, they would have it plastered all over the primary sports news networks. But I'm going to continue with the details in this article from the TMZ Sports website. According to the docs, Starling said that after pulling into a parking lot, Escobar followed him and then blocked him into a spot. The Tiger's tailback alleged she then rammed her vehicle into his car while he and his girlfriend were still in it. In the docs, Starling said Escobar actually backed up and hit his car a second time before pulling off. He claimed his car had minor damage. According to the docs, Escobar later showed back up at his apartment where she was arrested. Police say she told them she did block them in with her car, and she said she wanted Starling to confess to his girlfriend that he had had a sexual relationship with her the day before. Cops say the 22-year-old also admitted to throwing ketchup and scratching Starling's apartment door as well. Court records show Escobar has been charged with 2 felony counts of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and 1 count of misdemeanor vandalism. She's scheduled to appear in court in January. Escobar is in her 2nd year as TSU's Director of Football Operations and on-campus recruiting. So there you have it. You know, I wish that this society would stop trying to train these young women that they can sleep around just like men and not catch any feelings, because it's just not true. Men and women are completely different when it comes to emotions, and they always catch feelings eventually. You'll find this with chicks a lot. They'll catch feelings, they'll get bitter, and they'll start causing problems for you. This reminds me of a story that happened to me when I was around this same age. I think I was around 24. Now, back then I was seeing a whole lot of ladies. I decided to see this crazy chick, and I knew she was crazy from the beginning. I'm going to own up to that and take responsibility. Should have left her alone. I knew she was crazy. So I'm seeing this chick for, I don't know, months or whatever. So I decided that I was gonna not see her anymore and not talk to her anymore, and I told her so. I stopped answering her calls and all that stuff. Well, she staked my house out, I don't know, maybe for a week or two. I have no idea how long. Now, this chick's name starts with a K, and her name is so unique that you could probably figure out who she is if I said the name. So I'm not going to mention her name, okay? But she was crazy. I knew she was crazy. And so what happened was, one night, she saw me come home with another female I was hanging out with. And 5 minutes after I got home with this female, she knocks on the door. The crazy chick knocks on the door, and I knew how crazy she was. So I wasn't about to open that door. I didn't open the door. I stayed in the apartment because I knew what she wanted to do. She wanted to bust in, start causing damage to my belongings, maybe beat up the girl who was there. So I wasn't going to let that happen. Didn't open the door. Cops got there 5 minutes later, banging on the door. I open the door and I get arrested for assault for doing nothing. So even though I had a witness, the girl who was there with me had said, I never went outside, I never opened the door. They still believed her and took me to jail. Here's what I later found out had happened. Well, what she did was she went downstairs, busted the mirror out, the side view mirror out on my car, took a piece of glass and stuck it up her nose. I found out all of this later. And then her nose was bleeding, so she called the cops and said that I punched her in the nose. Well, those charges were eventually dropped, and needless to say, I ended up never dealing with this chick, this crazy chick again. Well, I guess we all can surmise what really happened with Miss Ariel Escobar. She had a master plan. You see, Devon Starling is a star athlete with his school, and he definitely has a bright future ahead of him. So Miss Escobar just thought, I'll just whip it on him real quick, and he'll be so impressed with my Snapdragon that he'll never be able to move past me, and he'll end up putting a ring on it. And when he signs with the NFL, I'll have access to millions and millions of dollars. But I guess it didn't work out that way. Well, apparently Devon wasn't too impressed with her little Snapdragon. And so he decided that there were other females out here who were more worthy than her. You gotta love that, a young man keeping his options open. And so the moral to the story here, guys, is just like all the OGs used to tell me back in my neighborhood back in the day. Never ever stick your key up into a crazy ass lock. Especially if you're gonna be wiggling it and jiggling it and doing way too much up in there. Because these females will lose their mind on you, and somebody could get hurt or get deleted because all that wiggling and jiggling drives them crazy. Well, I guess that's it for me. I'm gonna shut it down, but before I go, everybody tap that like button on this video. And if you're new and you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and subscribe to the Elite channel. Also hit the reminder bell so you'll know when I drop a new video. Leave me a comment in the comment section. And if you would like to share this video on your social media, go right ahead. It's all good. And so until next time, this is your man Elite, and I am out.